Oh, no problem. Just hit the subscribe button below and come on in. Hey guys, DFG here with Gideon's Flight. Just want to take a couple of minutes and follow up on a conversation that well, not a conversation, but I mentioned that I would do a particular thing, and then I want to follow up on that. And then the other thing that I wanted to do is give a quick little short commentary on the State of the Union speech from President Trump last night, and then a couple of closing thoughts, okay? And again, I'll keep it brief, so give me your time, your patience. See that? I'm asking for it. All right, here we go. First and foremost, this book right here that I have in my hand. Can you see that? The Book of Great American Documents. This is a book that if you have children of school age and you don't feel comfortable with them knowing the Constitution, knowing about the Bill of Rights, knowing about the Gettysburg Address, knowing about the Declaration of Independence, John F. Kennedy's inaugural speech. Just many great documents. And look how thick the book is. So very easy read. And even better than that, look at the price. Can you see that? Let me get a little closer there for you. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, you got that right. $5.95. And the name of the book again is The Great Book of American Documents, and it's edited by Vincent Wilson Jr. Okay, so I'm sure if you Google that in or go onto Amazon, you ought to be able to get that. And again, this book talks about, again, as I mentioned, the Bill of Rights, as I shared with you just recently when I was asking some young people about the First Amendment, Second Amendment, to the Bill of Rights, and some of the responses I got were very surprising. I'll give you an example. Article 1. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, nor abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for redress or grievances. And one of the things so that's in here, and again, everything that I mentioned. So with that being said, and one other thing too, you notice that in that first statement, the freedom of religion, that does not say the separation of church and state. And guess what? You'll never find that. So anybody goes to you and say, well, the Constitution said there's a separation of church and state. No, that was an interpretation that Thomas Jefferson gleaned out of that first Bill of Rights. But you will find nowhere. I challenge you to do so, okay? I challenge you to do that. You won't find it. There is nothing that says there's a separation of church and state. That's why the state is controlling many of the churches and what these churches are preaching today, especially those who are 501c churches, who are part of the faith-based initiative. That's why you don't hear them preaching about, a lot of these, what's a good word to say? I'm going to say nefarious behavior. Because if I get into details, somebody's going to be in their feelings and get, and get their little feelings hurt. So I'm just going to call it nefarious behavior for the sake of they're not preaching anything that can help our children or even us to improve our moral values outside of wait on, this, Jesus character that's going to come out of the sky and work it all out. Just asking for some money and you'll get that. And if you believe that he's going to heal you, he'll do that too. Although people are dying left and right of illness. I digress. Do I believe in the Creator? 100%. Do I believe in these Greek terms and these Egyptian, Babylonian mythology concepts that's been integrated in religion? Absolutely not. It's dogma. Sorry. My bad. Okay, that's all I'll say about that. Now to the speech. Let me share something with you. A couple of years back, I had an opportunity to go to Rhode Island College, I'm sorry. And I happened to be present, matter of fact, probably not only 10 feet from former President Obama speaking there. And, here's what I'm going to tell you about these speeches. Here's what I saw. What I saw is that before Obama came up to speak, he had his assistants go around, the gate line, those who had the opportunity to stand right up close, and you see them sometimes standing behind the president. Those individuals have VIP passes, and they are able to get not close enough to be able to, reach out and touch the president, but closer than anybody else. Okay, I was one of those VIP people. And I watched him go, his assistants walk around asking questions of young people, other people, what they were there for, who they were, what their names were, etc. And then later on, when Obama came up on the podium to speak, he started calling their names, started talking about, the challenges and the things that were important to them. Like you saw with Donald Trump last night when he had the black lady who was incarcerated, identified her and, some of these other people that he identified. And then I saw Obama just totally reading, from script. And this is what I walked away saying. By the way, I got a chance to greet him and shake his hand. And I'll say it like this. That was the weirdest experience I've ever had, not in a good way. I'm going to just leave it at that, okay? I walked away feeling like, what the hell just happened? All right? So, anyway, I digress. Back to, the State of the Union and what my message is that you shouldn't, in my humble opinion, ever believe someone who's reading from a script that writers wrote for him or her to present. I'm going to say that again. You should never believe someone who's reading from a script that they had writers write for them. And I know some of you guys want to believe, well, no, he told them what to write. No, they don't. No, they do not tell them what the president is. They wish they were that intelligent. They wish they were that. If they were that intelligent, they wouldn't have speech writers and also people who would consultants and others on their team, to help them, around putting together thoughts. Now, I'm not saying that what they read or what they say is totally contradictory of what they believe. What I'm telling you is that what they're reading is scripted, and most of the time is bullshit. I'm telling you, we'll see. We heard things that Trump said, right? Let's see, in the foreseeable future, how many of those things were true and how many of those things were just said to give us warm and fuzzy feelings. You know what I'm saying? Just speaking to us as though we were sheeple, telling us what we want to hear versus speaking the truth. With the stock market, being dictated by the 6 major banks now, and you can see that if you watch the stock market, you can see the market at 2 o'clock being positive, 3 o'clock being negative, and at 5 o'clock back in positive. That kind of instability tells you that market is being artificially influenced and stimulated to keep you paying into it. Okay? Keep us paying into it. So what am I saying is that, when you come down to the economy, if the economy was that great, we wouldn't be over there sending people down into Venezuela, for example. Going down there, and picking presidents by our own choosing, presidents who are going to support privatizing the petroleum down there, so that, as Pompeo said, we can go down there and get that all, Halliburton, Chevron, and these other major American corporations can go down there and take control of their oil resources, which will help America's economy. A country that's that stable, that a country that has that kind of liquidity is not going to go around taking by force resources from other countries around the world. And let's not forget, last but not least, 900 and something businesses that closed last year. And the many businesses, the Lowe's, remember that GM plant shutting down, the Sears shutting down, Target closing stores. I mean, I could go on and on. Walmart closing stores. All that happened last year. In a booming economy, I don't know. And look at your checkbook. Look at your pocketbook. You follow me? Look at the housing industry, the housing market. All those things are clear indicators that we're either in a recession or on the verge of falling into a major recession. Okay? So when you start looking at that and you put all that together, then you have to use critical thinking to evaluate what you're being told. All right? The president, job in more cases than not, like any other politician, is to be a professional bullshitter. I know some of you guys love Trump, and, again, I don't have anything against the man personally. Like I said to you many, many times, I have no horse in this race. I thought Obama was a piece of crap. Now that tells you, what I'm saying? And I don't trust Trump farther than I can throw him. I've heard that man flip-flop, wobble back and forth on almost everything that he says. We're going to pull people out of Afghanistan. No, we stand. We're pulling people out of Syria. Oh, no, we're going to stay. We're pulling people out of Iraq. No, we're going to stay. It goes on and on and on. I hate Russia. I love Russia. I hate, we're going to war with North Korea, but North Korea's, he's a little small man with a little small rocket. And then next thing, not only 6 months later, he's a great guy. He's really, really a good guy. Come on, guys. You don't need me to tell you this stuff. You heard it for yourself. But some of you guys, unfortunately, you want to drink the Kool-Aid because, Donald Trump represents a lot of the things that, in your imagination, you think is good for America. Okay? Because you've heard many of us say, all you have to know a little bit about America's history. And, there are a lot of things in American history, that was not good for you and I. And I'm not just talking about the color copper people here. This country treated Italians like shit for years and years and years. If you're Italian American, ask your grandparents or your parents how they were treated in America. Irish Americans treated you like the worst kind of, excuse my language, cover your ears, sensitive people, niggers. Chinese people, Asians, treated you, matter of fact, Asians got treated so bad in this country, they put them in concentration camps in the 1940s. All right, so all of this, imaginary great America, needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Can the country be a great country if the people decide that it's going to be a great country? But in order for that to happen, the privileged people have to be willing to sacrifice their privileges. And I don't see that happening. Do you? Do you see privileged people willing to give up their privileges? Their wealth privileges, their status privileges, their access privileges? The day they say, I'll give up my privileges so a lesser person can have it, then we can start talking about, a so-called, great America. You follow me? When accountability is consistent across the board for everybody. Because this is something else I'll say in my closing thought. Remember that young man whose father was a police officer who was shot in Hoover, Alabama, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 months ago because he was running away from somebody else shooting and the police officer shot him in the back? Well, today it was announced that, excuse me, no charges are going to be pressed against that police officer. Killed, shot a legal gun carrier, running away from where the firing was happening at. Wasn't the only one had guns in that mall, but he's the one that ended up dead because him being there for Black Friday to go spend some money, take advantage of those deals. And he never lived to tell about it. But that police officer, has been, exonerated. And until we can honestly look in the mirror and deal with those kind of things, you follow me, honestly, take off the uniform. Just look at the action and the behavior. You follow me? And look at, not even take off the uniform. Just ask yourself the question. If a police officer shoots a white kid in the back who's running away from whatever's going on, you follow, when he could have just waited, pursued later, or just pretty much, I don't know, he shouldn't have shot him at all. I want to say shot him in the leg, but you don't shoot people and you don't know who you're shooting. And you damn sure don't shoot people who are not shooting at you. Okay? But those are the kind of issues. And I can go on and on and on, but that's not why you're listening to this video. This is just to share perspective and to get you to question, what you're being told. And like I told you, I saw Obama and his group manipulate everybody in that audience because I saw what they were doing, because I could hear what they were saying and the question they were asking, because they were asking people right next to me, 2 or 3, people are down from me. So I knew it was all scripted and it was all manipulated. And I'm telling you, last night, I'm just telling you, before you jump on Donald Trump and his greatness, I tell you, you better wait a while, because if he's true to form, he'll be saying something different very, very soon. All right? Thank you guys for listening. DFG, peace. Talk to you guys soon. Bye now.